Awesemo.com live before lock show. We taking you through the day's 14-game slate, giving you all the patriotism you can need because Josh and I both are wearing red, white, and blue hats, coincidentally enough. I'm Chris Spags, joined by my pal, the Chubster, Josh Engelman. How you doing, Josh?
I'm pretty good. I didn't recognize that I was wearing a USA soccer shirt. I got the flag on it too. Didn't plan that. Didn't think about the 4th of July in any way, shape, or form. But woo, go America.
Same thing for me. I was a red hat day for me. I also put on a blue shirt and was like, oh, good. That timed out well. So I could pretend like I planned it, like I was being really patriotic. And though I am patriotic, these were not intentional. But hey, you know what? If you guys at home right now want to be patriotic, the best way you can be independent, celebrate your own Americanness is by getting an Awesemo Plus membership, because what's more important than capitalism in America? So go win yourself some money on all the DFS sites right now. Get half off your first month with promo code live before lock. Get in there, get all the ownership projections, the rankings, the regular projections. You just plug right in the Fantasy Cruncher, the deep dive column every day, the lineup builder, the top stacks tool. There's a million different things that'll help you make better MLB DFS lineups every single day. So go use that promo code right now, live before lock, and get half off your first month. Does that also count for the summer league packages we have for NBA, Josh?
It does not.
Okay, well, then never mind. Don't use it for that, but also get a summer league package for NBA because we're going hard with that as well.
Yes.
Coming up in the back half of the week. You have any details on that you want to give the people?
I do. I was just about to get into that. So summer league package, call it the Fast Eddie Fear Summer League Spectacular. It's going to be $19.99. Cover summer league from start to finish. This is an add-on independent of everything else. So no matter what package, if you're already with us, you still have to pick up the summer league package. You're going to get Eddie's rankings every day, and a subscriber-only live before lock show for every slate. So we're going to be locking that down. I've already created a private Slack channel for just Summer League content, so everything is going to be contained in there. If you want to get it, you got to get in there. So that's your only option. It's the only way to do it.
Yeah, and Eddie's, we don't like to tout the profit-making potential because you can never guarantee that in the world of DFS, but Eddie for years is one of the premier guys out there giving advice, giving analysis to help people get to the pay windows on all the DFS sites for Summer League and for preseason NBA. So it is a pretty good value, which you're hopefully get the ROI to bounce it out immediately. So go check that out right now on the site. The packages are up on awesemo.com/join if you want to get in there. All right, Josh, what are we doing today? We got some pitching. We got some Chris Sale here. He's going to be a chalky option, but also looks like the strongest one by at least a decent clip. How much Sale are you going to have today?
That's a really good question, honestly. The answer is certainly not a small amount. And I expect to be at or slightly above the field on FanDuel, where he's 18%. I assume that'll be somewhere around that 30% number on DK, maybe a little north of that. My biggest thing is that I'm going to have way more interest in Mike Clevinger than the public is showing, and I might just end up with more Clevinger than I get of... Like, if Clevinger wasn't on the slate, I'm going to have stupid amounts of Sale and Buehler. But because Clevinger is there, it's kind of muting the other two guys, so I think I'm just going to have... Let's see. We have the public at 62 total % between Sale, Buehler, and Clevinger. I'm figuring I'm going to split 100% between the three in some way.
Huh. What puts you on Clevinger? You have a Royals team who strikes out at right about league average, a decent hitting park and a warm kind of humid day out there. Why does Clevinger make the jump for you?
I just think he's really good, and I have no reason to suspect that the last start is going to be how he moves forward. And to me, Mike Clevinger is better than a $9,700 pitcher when you don't have any questions about his health. And I don't have any reason to have any questions about his health. He had an ankle injury before he went to the DL. I don't get the sense that after getting but Adam brought this up on the strategy show. I don't get the sense that after getting absolutely bludgeoned in your first start back off of the DL, that the team is just going to run you back out there if you're hurt. So I have to assume that Mike Clevinger is Mike Clevinger. And if that's the case, he's a fantastic strikeout pitcher and just a fantastic real-life pitcher. And I want to get to him, especially if he's only got 10% ownership on DK. And my alternatives are getting I don't need to get to more Chris Archer or Mike Leake or who else do we need to name? Kyle Quantrill. I'd rather just roster Mike Clevinger so that I don't have to roster someone like Cal Quantrill.
No, all right, that's fair. And I think there are some risks to Sale. He has been giving up hits. It is going to be an open air day in Toronto. And Toronto did just get to Sale about 2 games ago, I believe. where they did get to him, I think, I forgot how many runs offhand. He still had 8 strikeouts in that game, but I think he had just under 20 fantasy points in that one. So it's not crazy that he would have a day. Also, of course, the lineup starts to come out when we do the show. These rat bastards. The Tigers lineup, though, is out, and apparently one other one came through, but I'm not sure. Oh, the Mariners, too. So 2 more to add to the list. Yeah, I could see the logic in going for Clevenger. I mean, his stuff has been as good as anybody in terms of just pure strikeout ability. And I think with the ownership on sale, like I think having some exposure to Clevenger does make sense. I'm just surprised you would want necessarily more than Sale because Sale does have a certain floor there that Clevenger does not.
Oh, I don't want it to seem like I don't think that Chris Sale is the best option on the slate because he is. But 11-8 is a lot when we don't know what's going on with Austin Pruitt. Jacob Wagner is whatever. Cal Quantrill sucks. Peter Lambert sucks. Peter Lambert sucks so bad that his projection right now in Alex's model, which was negative at one point in time during the deeper dive, is 0.3 fantasy points. I have not seen that. So no matter how risky you think Austin Pruitt is, he's going to come in higher than 0.3. I have a little bit of interest in Tyler Alexander. I don't like that his ownership is coming up, but what are my other choices? Chacin, Detweiler, Jurado. It sucks at the bottom. And if it sucks at the bottom, it makes Sale more difficult, i.e. I get to Mike Clevenger.
All right. No, I think that makes sense. I don't mind Tyler Alexander too much. I mean, I need to look at this lineup. I guess we still don't have that lineup out for them yet. I would like to see that first for making a final determination there. But he does interest me. I mean, his numbers in the minor leagues, he was getting over 10 strikeouts per 9 in the minors. Not looking bad. The whip, though, is pretty high. I feel like it was like a 1.6 whip. So he's going to give up some opportunity, but the White Sox lineup could be bad enough that he has value. So I actually don't hate him. I'm with you on Quantrill, though. And I think also Alex raised a point about Quantrill having pitched, I think, 3 days ago out of the bullpen. That could also limit his potential just for being in the game long enough. And Quantrill, at least in the last update I have, I'm pretty sure the most recent one, his ownership was pretty decently high. And he also pops up a decent amount in our projections, which I assume means that that's a legit one that should hold. I really don't like going to Cal Quantrill today. And I actually think San Francisco is kind of an interesting leverage stack.
They can't just keep being really good, can they?
They're kind of getting better. Like, they're getting better hitters in line. I feel like once they got Alex Dickerson in there, and they're also just getting so many. I mean, they should have. I guess we don't know yet because the lineup's not out. They should have so many lefties in there. With Quantrill, like, his lefty splits are just so egregiously bad, where it feels like if they're loading up on lefties, I mean, it feels like anybody could get it going. A 1.8 whip for him versus lefties, 12 hits per 9, 4.2% home run rate. A little bit unlucky with a 350 BABIP, but he's been really bad versus lefties so far.
I mean, I get to the Giants, like, I don't want to say regularly, but more than the public on a day-to-day basis, just because they're generally really cheap, which has been great for the past 2 days where I've had at least the field of them. I assume that I'll get them again today just because I'm going to have the leverage on Quantrill's ownership. So yeah, I'm going to have them. I'm never excited about it. Brandon Belt looks great if he's leading off.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by that lineup there. I want to see the final one for that one as well before kind of going there. But I think I'll definitely have, based on the Quantrill ownership, I think it makes sense to throw a few Giants in there. And it's odd how going to San Diego is the thing that awakens them. But I guess it's cold in San Francisco in the summer. So maybe that 70-degree heat in San Diego is enough for them to feel the summer hitting that everybody else is getting across the country.
I'm so dumb. We were just talking about the Giants, but I was updating that Tigers lineup. Sure as shit, grabbed the Giants lineup and put it in as the Tigers. So luckily I caught it before I couldn't figure out what was happening. But now
luckily both teams kind of suck. So you didn't go like, wow, the Tigers are looking good all of a sudden.
Well, it'll ultimately it'll double up all of those players. And it's just going to be like, wow. So apparently I'm playing a lot of Nico Goodrum today.
Nico's hitting leadoff, so that actually wouldn't be the worst thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably have him too. That's another team that I get too much of.
Well, we'll talk more about hitting in the second half of the show. And of course, hit that like button while you're here, please. We're here for you guys right before a holiday weekend. We all have better things we could be doing, including you guys, but we want to be here to support you guys whenever you need us. Whenever there is a slate, our team here at awesemo.com is here for you guys. So hit that like button for us. Helps us keep the lights on. Let's talk about Walker Buehler, because he's a guy, we jumped to Clevenger, but Buehler's a guy who does stand out as being interesting to me. Really been good at limiting damage. I don't think he has a strikeout upside overall. Actually, I think we've had the same debate about Walker Buehler before on a day in which he wasn't that great, but he has been good more often than not recently over the last month or so. 0.97 whip on the year, only giving up 7.4 hits per 9, and the strikeout rate, a 9.7 K per 9 rate. That's not in the same ballpark, really, no pun intended, as Chris Sale. But Buehler seems safe to me. Are you comfortable going to Buehler, or is he a guy you're just going to avoid for Clevenger?
No, he's my second favorite guy. I mean, so it's Sale, Buehler, Clevenger for me in terms of like raw ability, depending on the gap in price on which site it is. It's basically $1,000 on FanDuel between those three guys. It's a little tighter between Buehler, or actually, it's a little bigger on DK. That's the order that I want those guys in, but it's close enough that I think that Clevenger ends up coming in a little bit more than Buehler for me because of Sale. It's really weird. I just want to get all three of those guys. That's the easiest way for me to say it. I like them all, and I don't really have much of a problem with whoever shows up the most. I'll be way more nervous if it's Clevenger, but I'm not going to like stop it or try to fix it or anything.
Okay, yeah, that seems fair to me, and I agree. Those three, I mean, those two in particular, Buehler and Sale. That's not a spicy take by any stretch, but no. I do feel the most comfortable with those two guys by a decent margin. So, and our projections too, I think back them out pretty well, where they are the guys that get the most without tweaking anything at all, and I'm pretty comfortable with that, given just the matchup in front of them, and not a great strikeout spot for Buehler, but I think he's just safe in a way that I'm comfortable with, and that safety is what matters to me on my 4th of July week.
There you go. So we need Dodgers, Giants, and White Sox yet. Correct?
I believe that's it, yes.
White Sox, Dodgers, White Sox.
That Giants. White Sox one seems particularly important.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting some ownership for sure. So once I get that one, I can probably comfortably crunch.
We've had I guess Alexander's come up a little bit or normalize a little bit. He's at 14% right now on DK. Actually, I'm curious what he is on FanDuel. FanDuel is I don't know, I guess not available in the player pool, and on Yahoo he's
who are we talking about here?
Tyler Alexander.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, he's not. So he's not on the Yahoo player pool or the FanDuel player pool, I think, at least if our ownership is correct. But he is on DraftKings. You mentioned him briefly. He's a guy who jumped out to me. We talked about him for a second, but is he somebody you'll actually roster at any depth, or just match the field on the 15% that we have for him on DK?
I'm starting to think that I'm going to end up with a lot of him, actually. Okay. Adam and I talked a little bit about him this morning. I originally wrote him off as completely useless. And Adam gave me like a look. And
he's very good at those.
Yeah, well, and he was right to a degree. This season, he has made really, really dramatic changes. He's been an absolute nothing in the minors for his entire minor league career. Terrible strikeout guy, just absolutely not getting it done. This year, he's had an incredibly massive jump to his strikeout rate, and it's backed up by, talk of changing arm angles and stuff like that. So strikeout rate stabilizes pretty quickly. I bumped his strikeout rate in my data to be, not necessarily just what this season is, but coming in a hair below that. And at 5,700 on a day where I'm not really excited about anything at the bottom, it becomes kind of appealing, especially with a White Sox team that projects to strike out a ton. It's super scary to see the total in that game and want to try to take a rookie pitcher in that spot in this ballpark. But again, it's 5,700. We saw last night that you can win a contest with a flat 0 at pitcher. So Ronaldo Lopez won $50,000. He didn't even pitch.
Actually, I didn't even see that. That game getting canceled was so frustrating. I had so many Detroit stacks and so much Boyd and so much Lopez. It was terrible.
Yeah, talk to shit my money with 50-something% of Boyd.
Yeah, that was. I still broke even. Which, I mean, if you're going to do that when you have that much exposure to a game that gets postponed, that's fine. But yeah, that one hurt a little bit. I felt really good about those Detroit stacks. So.
I 3x the field on the Tigers, and that was all for naught.
That's life in the fast lane. I guess, speaking of which, do we have any games at all that you're concerned about the weather for? Also, Giants lineup is officially out.
I'm going to be honest with you. I haven't looked at the weather.
I think there was some brief concern of a delay, but not a postponement in the Cincinnati game with the Brewers. But I think everything else is supposed to be okay so far. But at least that was the last that I checked.
For me, I'm not a Sonny Gray guy all that much. So he was really the only guy that was going to be problematic, and that wasn't really going to matter. I don't have anything for hitters.
Yeah, I don't mind Sonny Gray in certain spots, but I think in this particular one, not one. Oh, also a lot of lefties in this Giants lineup too. Stephen Vogt getting in there too at catcher. That's an interesting lineup, actually.
Let's find out what the impact is when I add the Giants lineup and see what that does to one Cal Quantrill and the Giants in general.
Yeah, and to be clear, this is not really a point chase spot. As I mentioned before, I mean, that 5.9 extra for Quantrill versus lefties so far. He's faced 100 lefty batters in the majors going back to last year. I guess it's evolving this year. But yeah, it's not been great for Quantrill overall.
Let's see. Refresh to Giants. Paste this in. We could talk about the impact to both the Giants as a team and Quantrill as a pitcher. Hopefully it knocks Quantrill down even further for me so I can really be sure that he doesn't show up in any of my stuff. Okay, so I personally had Quantrill at 8.6 fantasy points. We'll see what the impact is once Alex updates his numbers. So I had 8.6 for Cal Quantrill, and I had the Giants at, let's just say 42.4%. Not that matters.
Okay.
Quantrill went up 0.1 of a point.
Okay.
And the Giants went down a bit in their ability to reach their target score. So that pretty much makes some sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, the guys that I liked, well, in this particular lineup, looking at it now, like Dickerson, I think is been pretty solidly set as major league sample. I know you downgrade for what Steamer would project him to be a little bit, but he's had a really solid ISO versus righties. 273 ISO in a limited 50 at bat sample size, 152 WRC plus, invoked as well, and almost 100 at bats, 132 WRC plus, 244 ISO, and belt hitting leadoff. And Yastrzemski's been weirdly not good versus righties. I think he's been good versus lefties, which is kind of strange.
Unrelated to everything that's coming up in chat right now, pour one out for the hefty lefty. Jared Lorenzen died today.
Oh yeah, that's sad. He was a big boy.
I assume that this was not just a random act. I assume
they said it was like coronary and renal failure or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was a good guy. I mean, my old employer at Barstool Sports, he was a guy who actually introduced them to the Chernin group, who ended up acquiring them.
Wow.
Yeah, so he was like a very nice guy, and he was also on a bunch of our shows before the company was like buttoned up enough to actually be good at hosting a show. Like our live streams were nothing like this in terms of production value. You think we're lacking professionalism on this show? Boy, you did not see early Barstool Sports shows. But he hung with it. He was always a really good guy to everybody internally. So it is sad to see him go. And he was also fun. Just watching him around when he was at Kentucky or even when he was on the Giants in preseason. He's a fun guy.
Absolutely.
How about Chris Archer? People asking about you, Darvish. People asking about Chris Archer. Archer is going to be a little bit less chalky in our most recent ownership update, which came out about, I think, 5 to 10 minutes ago. It's a spot for me where I get why people want to go to Archer. The strikeouts are there. Same thing for you. I mean, Archer's got 9.8 Ks per nine on the year. Similar going back to last year for you, 10.5. But these teams, I really don't want to go against for either of the guys. I don't like going against the Cubs in this particular spot, and I guess not a fairly warm Pittsburgh day. And same thing for Pittsburgh, who just doesn't strike out. Are you going to get either of these guys, Josh?
I was hoping to see Archer's ownership get bigger as the day went on. Mm-hmm. We got it at 16% right now, because the bigger the Archer number, the more likely I would have been to go to the Cubs.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to be in and around the field because he's really the only thing that interests me in basically the whole mid-range.
Yeah, I mean, the strikeout upside is there, and this Cubs lineup today, I guess, is not.
White Sox lineup is in.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Sorry, I didn't want to cut you off, but I know that's something we're worried about.
Yeah, like I think the Cubs here, like the guys I'm really worried about are Anthony Rizzo. I think with the lefty splits for Archer just a little bit worse there in terms of xFIP and the home runs that he gives up to the left side of the plate. But if he can get through Rizzo, and I mean, also Rizzo only strikes out 12% of the time, so that's not ideal for Archer. But everybody else here around league average, really nobody who's much better than it other than Almora. So it's not a bad strikeout spot, but it just seems unlikely that somebody in there doesn't get to him because he's just not that good and trustworthy.
Yeah, I'm super nervous about it. I really, 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 really don't like it, but it's gonna happen. I mean, I know I'm not gonna have like a ton. It's not gonna. Well, I can't say that. There shouldn't be a ton, but we'll see. Okay, so Tyler Alexander. Let's see what his projection does now with the White Sox lineup and the White Sox themselves. Alexander goes from 11.7 to 11.6. White Sox, basically no change for the lineup. I didn't even really look to pay attention if anything changed, but I assume like it was very minor. Ultimately, nothing to worry about. I'll still be rostering Tyler Alexander.
I think Zach Collins got back into the lineup and Cordell got bumped up a slot, at least from the projected one that I had most recently. I think
Cordell
Yalmer
Stewart?
Sanchez actually wasn't in there before. That's it.
Oh boy, live before lock on the 65-inch TV. We just got tagged on a tweet. I'm not supposed to be on something that big.
Really highlights all of our negative features combined.
Yeah, I am best watched on an old iPhone.
I'd love to be somewhere where you can like maybe kind of Vaseline the screen up a little bit. Who is the old 2020 reporter who they always make that joke about? Oh man, that's going to bother me now. Not Barbara Walters, but one of those.
Do I seem like someone that's watched 2020 to you?
It's one of those like old female anchors who's been around like forever, and they always joke.
Veronica Corningstone.
She would never need to be Vaseline. Well, maybe in some respects, but not while on TV.
I want to be on you. I want to be on you.
No you interest as well, I presume.
By the way, Andrew Mock, I hope you saw me crank that after I saw that you told me that I should. Not on DraftKings. I'd rather have Kyle Gibson and that $400 more. On FanDuel, I assume I get like 2 or 3%. Another spot where I would rather have Kyle Gibson at $100 less.
While we're talking about this price range, any interest in the American hero John Means, the all-star of Major League Baseball John Means, in a spot versus a Tampa Bay Rays team who does project for some ownership in our ownership projections at Osmo.com because some value prices there. And John Means, of course, is an all-star, in case we've forgotten that from in the last 10 seconds. Josh, any love for you in all-star John Means?
He should not be rostered on FanDuel or DraftKings.
Like not even once?
No, I'm not even trying to be funny either. 8,400 for him is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Say what you want about whatever success he has seen this season and so far this year. It's not as if he's like some incredible DFS play as well. He's 8,400 now. Like we're not joking around where he's priced like Sean Anderson.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think the thing that he's done well is limiting damage. He's got a 1.1 whip on the year, still a 5.1 xFIP, so that could come up a little bit. But the strikeouts really haven't been there since that beginning stretch where his curveball was kind of getting a lot of teams in those first couple games. We were all talking about him a lot on our shows at Osmo.com. His strikeouts now down to 7.6 on the year rather, per 9, and not giving up a ton of home runs, which I think is to his credit. That is a helpful thing, especially when pitching in Baltimore, that he has an under league average home run rate. Yeah, I agree. He's not a guy really worth rostering, but with some ownership on Tampa Bay, it does feel like it could be some sort of leverage there.
Like, where is he? Let me find this asshole.
You mean this all-star?
Yeah. He's an all-star like Smash Mouth.
I was going to say, they actually dedicated that song to him retroactively.
Right. So like at the beginning of the season when we were having all these John Means discussions, he started off in the 4s at one point. He was 5,200 in one start against the White Sox. Jumped up into the 7s, which was too high. Got to like 6,500. He was 5,800 at Texas like a month ago. He just shouldn't be 8,400. There's no upside in that number. What would he have to do? Pitch 15 innings today?
It's not a great spot for him with strikeouts or anything, but yeah, I mean, look, the particular lineup he's getting versus the Rays, which is being padded a bit by having Michael Brosseau or whatever his name is in there because he's been hitting well in a limited sample. But a lot of guys here with pretty strong numbers, strong ability to generate runs. Even down to the bottom order, you have Joey Wendell has got a 101 WRC plus. Guillermo Heredia has got a 105 WRC plus. So this is not the spot to go to John Means, though. Hey, Travis d'Arnaud at leadoff. He's strikeoutable.
Here's the best way to describe it. Alex says John Means projected for 10.5 fantasy points. That's the same amount of fantasy points as Sean Anderson. I'll let you look up the salaries, but he's 6,800. And it's 0.4 of a point less than Tyler Alexander, who is at 5,700. That's why you don't roster guys at 8,400 with the same projection.
Yeah, I would think we would all agree that John Means is a better real-life pitcher than a fantasy pitcher in this particular spot.
Just skip that one, guys. Just skip that one.
In real life, no questioning that. Jay Kelly 13, the premium Slack. And of course, if you're not a part of the premium Slack, use that promo code live before lock to get half off your first month, because the premium Slack is information, people chatting all day about their lineups, different things they're observing, different stats, different news points. There's a lot of value those guys are providing. We don't even pay them. So that's works out pretty well for everybody involved. But Jay Kelly 13 saying he's playing 4 different lines and various higher dollar single entries on FanDuel. Is he crazy to completely fade Sale and have one Buehler line and pay up for bats? He's got Gibson and Gray mostly. Is that something you would do, Josh?
No, I would have Sale in at least one of those.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you got 4, I think it seems crazy to me to not have any Sale.
I mean, I have Sale at 44 fantasy points. Alex has him as the only pitcher over 40. So, like, when I merge these two together and run my crunches, he's still going to be north of 40. I've got him at a 40% chance of hitting his target score. That's almost double Walker Buehler. He has the ability to put up like a 70-point FanDuel day, and there's not a lot of guys on this slate that can even sniff something like that. You don't want to be left without Chris Sale on a day where he has like a 80th percentile game. Especially if you're playing, like, if you're playing one lineup, sure, you can get away from it. If you're going to get to 4, one of them should probably be Chris Sale.
Yeah, I would say too. I mean, a high dollar single entry, I would presume that means Sale would be even chalkier there, which I guess could also, increase the ability to go away from him. But yeah, like if he has that big game, I can't. That just seems like really risky on a high dollar single entry situation.
With the way the pricing works today, there's plenty of bats to fill out lineups with Chris Sale on FanDuel. Yeah, it's not like you have to really dumpster dive.
Are people actually talking about playing Means in cash? No, people are not. People don't play Means.
Yeah,
I like John Means.
Yeah, if you're playing him, it's very much only in GPPs because cash games are going to kill you.
Yeah, no, that is not a good idea. Don't play your Means responsibly. Also, we are at the halfway point of the show. Emax got ahead. I guess he doesn't know if he just wants to get in line and get Dan Vogelbach in. So Emax picking Dan Vogelbach. We are doing home run picks right now because it is the halfway point of the show. And yesterday, I don't believe anybody got one on the Chris Randone show, unless I'm missing anything. But I know Jock was garbage. That was really frustrating. Stupid Jock. 0 for JT Real Muto, and I believe a 0 for Todd Frazier as well. All right, but today EMAC is going with Dan Vogelbach. To update you guys on the standings, it is in fact the baseball savant Jake Hari in first place with 17 total dongs on the year, though he is tied with EMAC in 16 correct picks on the year. EMAC's total dongs right behind Jake with 16. I'm in third place with 13 total dongs, 12 correct picks, and Josh bringing up the rear like a guy in a donkey costume who has to smell somebody's farts during a Halloween costume with 10 correct picks and 11 total dongs. So, Josh, being that you are the back of the horse costume, who are you going to pick for your home run pick?
I don't appreciate that intro.
I figured you wouldn't, which makes it all the sweeter.
All right, so Emax on Vogelbach. Randone took Tyler Flowers.
Oh, okay.
First name I looked at, I was like, okay, I'm ready. I like this one. Immediately looked at a pitcher that I'm going to have a lot. So that's the way that this usually works. Give me Shohei Ohtani against Jurado.
Oh, I like that pick a lot. I swear to God, if Ohtani hits it again after you picked him, and Jake took him away from me one day, which hurt me so much because I shouldn't have let him go first, given that he's in first place.
That's what you get for letting me go first, man.
I know, but you deserve it because you're in last place. You're, again, the back of the bus for you. It's a bad situation for you back there. Damn it. All right. Who do I go to then? I'll go to Boston. Actually, should I go to Boston again? No, hold on. I really should have thought about this in advance. I'm kind of thrown for a loop here with your guys' picks. You know what? I'm going to go to Atlanta and Freddie Freeman.
I like it.
Yeah, that's one pick. I don't mean to troll Chris Randone's pick, though. There's a special place in hell for Chris's who don't support Chris's, and I support his pick of Tyler Flowers, and I hope he supports my pick of Freddie Freeman.
Freddie Freeman, 28th in the home run model. Ohtani is 14th. Where's that fatty? Vogelbach is 83.
That fatty.
Flowers is 167th.
Okay. That's a tough one. It's a tough one. Flowers has that upside, though. I'm with it.
Something to think about for next season. We add some sort of degree of difficulty, like it's Olympic diving.
Do we really want to make it more complicated?
I do. I'm in last, man. I'm willing to throw this shit against the wall and see what sticks.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, I feel like no, because so honestly, like I I would rather we shame each other less for picking like Coors and stuff. Like you shouldn't pick Coors every day, but I feel like we should be allowed to do that. That one day you weren't making a pick and it was just me, Emac, and Jake making picks. It's like we should just pick Coors. It was only one out of like a 4-game slate.
There's no fun in taking Coors, guys.
But it doesn't, I mean, look, I see it every day because of the double down contest I do in the Four Corners video, the short form video I do on this channel if you're not watching it every day. Yesterday, we had 5 double dongs in the league, and it was like Evan Longoria hitting one. Yuli Gurriel hit one at Coors, but then it's like Jason Castro hitting one in Oakland. Like, it's random guys, too, but only one guy out of Coors. And, you know, what, are we going to not pick people in Oakland?
No, we're just going to not pick people in Coors. That's the only one.
I'd rather not be confined by my canvas. I want to paint with a richer brush every day.
Look, I'm sorry that you're not able to take Nolan Arenado 81 times.
He is my doppelganger, the one that I like the most. Not that Inez Cantor won.
Marwin Gonzalez scratched.
No, that's going to affect everything for me.
I mean, that's a massive thing right now.
Is it? Oh, I guess his price was pretty low.
Oh, no, I don't know. I'm just saying.
I mean, I just looked it up. He's 3.4K on DraftKings, so that would be.
Yeah, that's not helpful. But I was just about to start crunching, so now I got to wait for that stupid lineup to come back out.
Oh, God, and the Dodgers lineup apparently just came out on Fantasy Cruncher, so that should be hitting in a second as well.
Oh, did it?
But once that's in, we should be getting everything. Yeah, the site that I think we both use to scrap lineups has been a little bit slow on the draw compared to Fantasy Cruncher recently.
New Twins lineup is out. I don't know who was in the old one, but I'm assuming that Jonathan Scope is the guy that's getting put in there. Nope, he was already in there.
Yep, using the 8-hole.
The A-hole?
He was just like you at the back of the home run chase.
See, we could have done without that. Polanco is in now.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, he was not in before, so that changes things a little bit.
Raptors odds getting a little bit better today.
There's been some reports. Oddly enough, Stephen A. Smith's declaration that the Lakers won was not the correct declaration. Perhaps a little premature.
Jalen Rose said 99% back to the Raptors.
I would tend to trust Jalen Rose's sources a little bit more than
he
Stephen
is
A.
not
Smith's
the type of person that is out there trolling for like likes and shit.
No, he's not. I respect that approach because like if people don't guess it wrong, but if you do it all the time, you can't always be a boy who cried wolf kind of situation, which I think Stephen A. Smith mostly is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the people are willing to talk to Jalen too, you know?
Brandon Furla, Spags really doesn't want to have to think. That is a fair call. That's why I use our projections at awesemo.com. So if you don't want to think, use that promo code live before lock for half off your first month.
Who in the world wants to think? Oh, Robert Maddox is leaving.
Yeah, I was going to say that. You got it then. I would have made that call too, but you can't. Yeah, this is a tolerant channel. This is America's Week. America's Week is all about tolerance and accepting of other people. That's what our great country's built on. Bad job, Robert Maddox.
Jake is in with the pick.
Oh, who'd you go with?
Eloy Jimenez.
Oh no, against Tyler Alexander. Oh.
So my first thought when I said like, oh, the first name that I saw was not Eloy, but Jose Abreu.
Yeah, if anybody's going to blow it up, I feel like it's probably Abreu, but Eloy is right there as well.
Eloy 18th in the model. All right, Twins lineup in, Dodgers lineup in. I'm going to get started once we get ownership.
Time to get crunchy. So I guess let's talk about the stacks now while we start to update these things. And of course, our projections at awesemo.com will be updated as we go if you are a person who is a premium member. But how much are you getting? I guess who's going to be your number one stack so far on the day? I presume it's going to be Houston, but I don't want to be too bold.
Probably Houston. By the way, when you said let's get crunchy, I immediately wished that it was let's get swifty. And then this is gonna be great.
Let's get swifty in here. It's a hard rap to do, to recreate.
And then I got really bummed that Dave didn't make it fantasyschwifty.com so that we could have just swifted it all the time instead of crunched it, since in theory it could have been anything. I went through all of those emotions.
He was probably afraid of the Swiffer people getting confused and thinking that he was infringing on their copyrights.
Yeah.
Then also, who would have gone to fantasyschwifter.com or fantasyschwifty.com? That would not be a credible optimizer name.
I would have.
I mean, look, I agree that the name has value to me emotionally, but probably not in terms of the.
We could have just listened to the song all the time. It would have been great.
It did save America, or Earth, actually, entirely in that. All right, so all the lineups are in. So yeah, give me your top
Show
stack.
me what you got. Dude, I gotta get.
Or just reenact Rick and Morty. Either way, whatever you prefer to do.
I need to get a life. What's your question?
Is Houston your top stack? And if not, who is it?
I assume that they're clearly my top ranked stack. If they're the team that comes out at the top, I wouldn't be surprised. Someone can jump them. I just updated both lineups and I'm pasting all my stuff back in right now, so I can give you like who the choices are in, I don't know, 5 seconds. FantasySquancher.com.
That would be great. That would be a completely branding faux pas.
Yeah.
You don't want
Hold
that.
on, I'm going to go grab my belt and get in the closet. Okay, so if we want, my top stacks are in some order are going to be Astros, Angels, Rockies, Yankees, Red Sox. And then probably like the White Sox, Cubs, Indians, Braves. Somebody in that little group is going to jump from leverage.
Okay. Yeah, I'm checking our. Oh, we got an ownership update as well 6 minutes ago. So if you are a premium member, go check that out now. Really nothing changing too material. Oh boy, John Hicks took a leap, huh?
Did he really?
Yeah. Well, like $2,100. I guess that's why. But
that'll
yeah,
do it.
Yeah, he's John Hicks. By the way, somebody in the chat was saying take John Hicks for the home run pick. That would be apparently a very chalky pick because he's a top 5 position player today in terms of ownership on DraftKings.
Mike Brusso. Stupid Michael people.
Yeah, that is annoying. Apparently, they were saying on the deeper dive that he is a stocky boy, so a potential future home run pick for EMAC.
Great.
Built like a fire hydrant. All right, so I guess let's talk about the Houston stack a little bit here. Besides the 7.6 implied run total, which is obviously the highest on the slate, Peter Lambert, a very bad pitcher, but is there any reason why you wouldn't want to go to them as your top stack, I guess, besides ownership?
No, not at all.
Okay. What about Colorado on the other side? Because I think you actually can make a case that maybe Wade Miley keeps the ball down enough where they don't have a super productive day as a stack.
They're my third favorite stack. Like I'm just in across the board.
Okay. I like them more as a mini than a full, though. Would you agree with that?
No.
Okay, well, go to hell then.
I like them as an everything.
Yeah, I always like the lefty matchup or the matchup for Story and Arenado going against the lefty because those guys both just really rake them. 298 ISO versus lefties for Story, 365 ISO versus lefties for Arenado. Both guys also really strong WRC pluses, 150 for Story, 187 for Arenado. So those guys jump out to me right away as being ones that I would want in a mini stack. I feel like the full stack I'm just not quite as crazy about. Like I'd rather go, I don't know. I know the lefties will be a little bit more contrarian to go to those guys, but like Miley's not bad versus lefties. He does limit hits pretty well versus them, has a 1.1 whip compared to a 1.22 whip if we're trying to split hairs a little bit there. Whereas Houston, I feel like you really could argue for anybody 1 through 8 in the order. You could probably even argue for Wade Miley as a hitter if you wanted to.
Is there Wade Miley narrative because of Miley and Party in the USA being a good song for tomorrow?
That might motivate him a little bit. There's been a lot of strong narratives this week, and that is one right up there with any. Maybe I hope he like uses it as his like batting music and shit today. If ever there were a time to do it, I don't think that's his brand though. He's like a country guy, isn't he?
You're asking me thoughts. Sure. My personal thoughts or my knowledge on Wade Miley's musical tastes.
Just like
hold on, just so we're clear here. I don't want to be wrong.
No, like his persona is like pretty country, I believe. Like he's like a guy who's like chewing and spitting and probably's got a truck with like a naked lady on the mud flaps.
He's got the balls on the back. Look, I couldn't pick Wade Miley out of a 2-person lineup. So
the only reason I know is I think because I had him in the photo in Four Corners one day where a day he was good for the record. So I remember it more fondly, but
I know that he's white. That's the best I can do.
He is white. He is not a civil rights man like his name could be, I guess. Yeah, I don't mind the spot for Houston overall. Like I think you'd stack them a bunch of ways, but I'd be more inclined just to take the chalkier guys for Colorado personally. But I get why you'd be agnostic about it too, because Miley, he's not a great pitcher by any stretch. But the thing to me is he just keeps the ball down enough. A 30.8% fly ball rate just this year, 27% fly ball rate going back to last year. So maybe he keeps it down, doesn't get completely blown up, I think would be my concern. What about, you said the Angels? Actually, I'll give you one of mine and then tell me what you think of them.
Okay.
I actually like both sides of this game, but the Atlanta side of it going against Pivetta really interests me. Obviously, that's why I picked Freddie Freeman. I'm assuming similar reasons why Chris Randone did with his Tyler Flowers home run pick. But Pivetta on the year has been pretty bad. 1.5 whip, 10.8 hits per nine allowed, which is up from up 1.36 whip going back to last year, 9.4 hits per nine. Also, the home run rate's been up, and obviously going to be a warm day in Atlanta. I guess not obviously, but at this point, it's going to be mostly warm days in Atlanta from this point on for the rest of the summer. I like the spot for them. That Vegas total's also gone up, I think like 0.5 since this morning. It's up to 6.2 implied runs for Atlanta. Are you getting to Atlanta here or Philly?
Braves are my number 8 stack, Philly number 7.
Okay, so they're in the mix.
More likely to get to the Braves than the Phillies on DK. Probably more likely to get to the Phillies on FanDuel, but I am going to have some of that game for sure. And probably more than the field if I had to guess.
Yeah, the Braves prices are a bit tough, which I think is the one thing that certainly you could ding them for, because you're paying those prices. You might as well go to Houston or Colorado at the prices that you're paying for them, especially because Colorado's a bit discounted because of the matchup with Wade Miley, of course, the buzzsaw that is Wade Miley. But yeah, like I think if you can pay for them and if they are a stack that has comparable upside, I mean, the entire stack is going to be under 10% owned with a lot of guys here. Acuna's at 5%, and certainly these guys have 2 home run potential. Freddie Freeman also at 5%, Dansby Swanson at 2% in the number 2 spot, though you are paying almost $5,000 for Dansby Swanson, which admittedly is a spicy meatball to go with. But I just think they're pretty credible as a I guess an alternative stack if Colorado for some reason were to falter.
Yeah, I like them. I really do. I don't have much else. I mean, the totals look great. I have the Braves at 6. That's more than I need.
Oh, Chris Randone says the Braves will score 13 runs tonight. Lucky 13. So there we go.
I hope you're right if I end up over the field.
Let's see. Boston stack, Jared's mentioning in the YouTube chat. You mentioned them, I think, briefly. I like them too. I've liked them more when it looked like Wagspock was going to be higher owned earlier in the day with his 4K price tag on DraftKings. That's come down a bit where I don't think we're expecting him to be anywhere near that now. Wagspock was good in that first start for him. He did get a pretty good strikeout numbers in 4 innings, but not somebody who I'd want to trust here in Toronto with an open roof going against a Boston team whose projected lineup or their confirmed lineup has 285 batting average going against righties. How much Boston do you think you'll have today? Because they are getting a little bit chalkier.
Yeah, so on DK, I figure I come in slightly under where they're at. They're basically ranked exactly where I think they should be. On FanDuel, though, I think they're going pretty underrepresented. So I expect to be over on the Yankees and the Red Sox on FanDuel. And at that point, I'm kind of cool with it.
Oh, Ryan Stubbs saying that Wade Miley's walk-up music is Brooks and Dunn. So I was correct. Thank you. Thank you, Ryan.
Look at you, man. Knowing more about Wade Miley than Wade Miley's family.
I'm very good at stereotyping random pitchers in the 7 to 8K range. It's one of the best things I do.
I knew nothing at all.
MLB.com is a walk-up music database, Ryan says. That's interesting. I didn't know that.
That's fun.
Yeah, that is fun. I think that'd be one of the most fun parts. Like, I wish we probably could do this. I wish we had entrance music for things that we did. Like, that'd be fun.
What do you mean?
Like, you know, like for like a pro wrestler or a walk-up music for a batter. Like if we had that for like the show, it's like, oh, it's a Josh show. And then you get to enter to like the Stone Cold Steve Austin theme.
Yeah, I mean, I do too. But like, we can't play that music on these shows.
No, I mean, no, but I mean, theoretically we would be like, we could. I have on my podcast, like I use the one, my personal one, like I have an intro for that. But like on our shows, it probably wouldn't flow well. And also we would be copyright infringing on YouTube, which is not the best.
I want to come in like the Sandman, where we start playing Enter Sandman and I don't come onto the screen for like a minute and a half. And then I drink like 15 beers through the show.
That's the bleeding forehead.
Yeah. All of that sounds fantastic. What's not to like?
That would be a pretty badass look. We've cornered the market on backwards hats on DFS shows. So maybe that could be the next thing. We'll just have just blood. You'll be bleeding like Cody Rhodes in that first All Elite Wrestling pay-per-view.
Is there a song about backwards hats? I'll come out to that.
That would be a strong one. Let's talk about the Angels because they are one that I think we breezed by as well. Angels obviously getting 6 implied runs total in Texas, a warm day, going against Ariel Jurado. Cole Calhoun getting them bump up the lineup, which is going to benefit him because Jurado is pretty bad versus lefties. The 1.7 whip, 11.5 hits per 9 allowed, and just 5 Ks per 9. I like the Angels here. I like Calhoun also, like a pretty decent value in there. Upton as well, pretty recently priced. I guess, where are you relative to the field with the Angels?
I figure I'm neutral with them. They're my number 2. They're tied for second for me with the Rockies, and they're getting some ownership, so I'll probably be right around the field with them. And obviously, I took Ohtani as my home run pick, so I like them.
Cancer 33 saying snapbacks and tattoos could be yours for the song that you
I thought you
need.
said Cancer 33. I was like, that's a weird name to have.
It could also be his astrological sign if that were the name.
I'd make fun of that too.
That's fair. How about Texas on the other side? Because Jamie Barria being in there should theoretically make them a little bit more interesting. But Barria is a guy who has a pretty bad weakness versus righties, and they are not rolling out a righty heavy lineup. I'm not probably going to get to Texas, but just are they somebody who's on your radar at all?
Let me see here. Rangers are 6th for me. I do not anticipate getting to like. They're pretty chalky on FanDuel. I'll be similar there. But on DraftKings, I think they're going pretty under-owned, and I'm actually going to end up on more Rangers on DraftKings. So I will be over the field of their 3% aggregate number.
Okay. Also, looking at my crunches now, one team that we didn't talk about, and they've actually been popping up for me throughout the day, Detroit going against Ross Detweiler. Detweiler's been looking pretty bad so far in the majors, giving up a lot of hits. Not a ton of hard contact, but also not really limiting contact in a helpful way. 7.1% on run rate to lefties. I guess a little bit less versus righties. How are you feeling with the Tigers here, given that they are a value team who could help you afford a lot of the other stuff out there?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going way, 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 way over-owned for where I think they should be. So I'm hoping that I come in at like half the field.
Okay, that's fair. Anybody else who are we getting here, or who you're getting that? Are you getting with any Kansas City hedge stacks as your Clevenger amounts, or any?
No,
Danny Duffy's ownership has come down, so I guess he wouldn't be a guy you would leverage against.
I will not have any Royals.
Okay. I feel like we covered most everybody. Now we just need to see your results.
Yeah, DraftKings Crunch is almost done. FanDuel's lagging behind a little bit, but those are usually more difficult to crunch out.
Oh, Sean V saying Angels might be a garbage stack here. Gerardo keeping ball on ground and showing some solid form right now.
Just ignore him. That's all I do now. I don't even acknowledge it any longer.
That's fair. That's very zen of you. Yeah, I mean, like, I do think Gerardo in general does limit blowups fairly well, but he's been limiting blowups before Texas started to get a little bit hotter. And frankly, the matchup with the Angels in particular, like, that's just one that I don't think he's going to be able to keep this going. I mean, he's just not getting strikeouts. The Angels don't strike out anyway. They make really good contact. So I think you make that argument versus some teams, but I don't think the Angels are one that I would want to make that for.
Yeah, like I said, they're my number two team today. So
anybody in the Yankees game? Because I know some people earlier, at least in the comments that I was seeing on the Four Corners video, and I think it's some of the chat, people were talking about the Yankees there going against Jason Vargas. And Vargas has been better as the year's gone on, sort of ever since, I don't mean to keep shouting Chris Randone, but ever since Chris Randone shouted him out in that one article, he's really turned his season around. And I don't know what's going on with him, but I didn't feel the need to get there a ton today. You going to have any Yankees for you?
I'm going to try. For some reason, they are not a natural FanDuel stack. I think they're like anti-optimizer, so I'm going to have to bump them up quite a bit. But I want to get to a lot of Yankees if I have the opportunity. Let me pull it back up just so I can talk about it a little bit. Sorry, Mike Brousseau or whatever the hell his name is had another naming change.
I believe you mean Michael.
Yeah. Oh, Michael only on Fangraphs. So the Yankees are ranked as my 4th best stack. Right now, I'm basically neutral on them on DraftKings. They are essentially unowned on FanDuel. I hope that I can get more on FanDuel. Yeah, so I ended up with a lot of Tigers, so I'm going to start adjusting now.
Okay, yeah. The Tigers really do come up a lot, I feel like, with most projection-based situations, but not a team I feel like you want to be on when they're very chalky, and they are looking to be very chalky currently.
Yeah, let me see where I'm at now that I update this data. Yeah, I am like with the field, so I need to neutralize that quite a bit.
Give it the old Cesaro special.
There you go. I didn't know where you were going with that for a second. Then I remembered that his finisher for some reason called that.
Because he's Swiss.
Okay, I cut them down quite a bit. I got to cut down the damn Cardinals too.
Yeah. I've been getting a lot of Cardinals recently too in various
They're
things.
just so cheap today.
They are. They've been hitting. Yeah, getting a little wagyu beef. Getting a little wagyu beef in my life.
There you go. Lucky you. Rangers will bump up. I'm just about done DraftKings, so I'll be able to actually talk about exposures in a second. Wow, that's surprising. I'm more spread out than I expected.
I'll tell you what, man. Like, I like Atlanta a lot. Atlanta does not occur naturally with our projections very much.
I ended up under the field on the Braves on DraftKings. Wow, that's a lot of Indians.
I feel like in most projection systems, it just wouldn't allow you to go, which I think gives them a bit of an edge somehow. But I think just nobody's going to put you there when you have Colorado at that price and some of the other teams. I mean, Colorado and Houston, like the Colorado game, and even Boston too for cheaper. I feel like it's hard to justify going to Atlanta when you have those options.
Well, I think this is what I'm going with. This should be something.
That's always a good sign.
37% Sale, 23% Buehler, 20% Clevenger. So I got to 79% of those guys. It's a little bit less than I expected. 13% Kyle Gibson, a little bit under the field on Archer. 19% Sean Anderson, 19% Nick Pivetta, 13% Tyler Alexander. Whoa, 8% Austin Pruitt. Got to walk that back.
Yeah, are you comfortable playing Austin Pruitt, given, I guess, some of the concerns about him actually being in there? A lot of people, I feel like, have been freaking out about him throughout the course of the day.
I'm still going to play a little bit of him on the off chance that he does play because he's 4K. So I'm not excited about it, but worst case scenario is he bagels.
Okay, yeah. I think
if he plays, I'm not worried about him personally, put it that way.
Sure. And as you said before, somebody did win with 0 yesterday, so that could certainly happen again today, I'm sure. Just how life goes here in the world of DFS. I'm looking for any questions right now. Clevenger or Sale on DK? Just agnostically, which would the one that you would think be, Josh?
Hold on, give me 1 second. I want to talk to Ryan Big Dog, who's being quite the dickhead in YouTube chat.
Oh,
why doesn't Osimo give his projections? Because he does.
Yeah.
Moron.
The projections we have on the site are, in fact, Osimo's projections.
Goodbye.
Wow. Booterino.
Fuck off. I don't have the patience for this shit, man.
You know what, Josh? You're a true patriot. You're seizing your freedom today. And
you can't come into chat and be like, oh, this site sucks, man. Why doesn't Osimo give away his stuff? Yeah, he does, moron. Do some research before you get here.
He also literally does an hour show right before us.
Yup.
In which he goes in great detail about all the projections that they discuss, which are his on the site.
Look, some people get real salty for being broke because he takes all their money. He appears to be one of those guys.
Yeah, I've been getting rid of a lot of Facebook comments recently, which have been very annoying, with people who just like are obsessed and obsessively comment on all the ads and stuff and posts that we have.
God, just like, can you be more obtuse? Oh my God.
We are, I would say, out of all the sites out there that you'll find, not to toot our own horn, but we do keep it real for everybody. When people have cold streaks, I mean, I've heard Adam talk at length whenever he's gone on a cold streak, and obviously he's one of the better players out there, as much as anybody who we have on our content. And Alex too, when he's taken a beating, he's been very candid about it. So really not the right channel to be coming at for that.
This is the most ridiculous nonsense ever.
People get a little butthurt sometimes. Okay.
Feeling good now. Whew.
So here, I'll give you something that'll balance that out. Sean B coming up with the take. Sale's been god awful with Vasquez behind the plate. So much better with Leon, but who knows? Maybe they figure it out today and he drops a bomb. That was a real warm take there. Lukewarm take by Sean B.
They all are.
Gotta bust Sean B. That's my right as an American, to bust Sean B's balls, but out of love, I still enjoy his antics.
The more we talk about him, the more YouTube chat thinks it's a good idea to listen to him. So I'm trying to help out the rest of the people by understanding that his information is useless.
Fair point. I try to reward activity, but I think your take on it is also not unfounded.
I want people to get good information from listening to this, and we are breeding bad information because of it.
Would you say we're breaking bad information?
I'm trying to break all of that bad information.
Oh boy, a little Pruitt, a little Wagaspock. Oh boy, these 4K assholes are coming up for me right now, and I'm not loving it. I'll tell you that much.
How many hot dogs will I be eating for tomorrow's show?
Oh man, that's right. Are you doing the show? No, it's not you in the morning, right?
No, thank God.
I honestly would love to do a hot dog eating contest at some point in my life.
So like, I was obviously incredibly confident in my pizza bite eating ability.
Sure.
I think I'd eat like 3 or 4 hot dogs and just want to stop. I mean, like I'm confident that I can jam down more. I just wouldn't want to. They would need to be cooked in a very specific way for me to get like super excited about wanting to do it.
I would think I could get through 10, but it would then probably be agony the second that like my body caught on with the fact that I got to 10, and I think that would be problematic.
I just wouldn't want to eat 10 hot dog buns.
No, and dipping them in water and stuff seems pretty
Oh, I'm
gross
not. No,
well.
like I would know. I'm just not going to do that.
Oh, now you've got standards.
I'm not dipping my food in water to chug it down afterwards. I'm surprised they don't do that. Just put them in the water and knock it back. Like it's probably because it's disgusting.
I'm surprised they don't have more hot dog milkshakes.
Yeah, never mind. Never mind. Figured it out.
Did you see that Peter King tweet about him complaining about the 30 for 30 on Joey Chestnut or competitive eating or whatever it was?
I did not.
He was just like, oh, we only have millions of people starving across the world, but let's promote this. And it was just such like an angry old man screams at cloud kind of tweet, which is what he does best in his defense.
Sorry, they're not eating 15 bowls of cabbage soup, Peter.
Sorry, they're not having a nice IPA.
Yeah, that's what I'm having right now.
Me too. I have a little Stone. Actually, a delicious IPA is the name of the Stone Brewing IPA, which pretty arrogant on this. I have
Cigar City Brewing's Space Pope.
Oh, okay. I like that name. I feel like the thing with beers is that all the names are basically like a random generator at this point.
Kind of, yeah. It's the same way that I used to get like wrestler names for wrestling simulators when I was a kid.
Who wins tomorrow's hot dog eating competition? I'll give you a good bet here. Take Joey Chestnut.
Yeah, I don't know. Is Kobayashi back?
Yeah, that's weird. They should allow him back at this point. Like, it's been long enough.
I don't know anything about it.
He got banned because he, I forget the actual reason why, but
I didn't know he got banned. So there's that.
It's because he wouldn't sign a contract with them to do like whatever. You have to basically sign off your rights to everything for the most part, and he just refused to do it.
As he should.
Yeah, I kind of respect that. I mean, you got to know your worth, and at that point, he was the most worthwhile. I think the thing that he thought like it would just all collapse without him, and in fact, clearly that was very much not the case.
No, it was not. Joey Chestnut came in with a American flag draped over his shoulders, and we took to him like he was America's hero. He's like the Hulk Hogan of hot dogs.
The Hulk Hogan. What an ignominious. Oh, is that even a word?
Just go with it, man. If you just act like you're confident that it was, no one's gonna care.
I think that's one of those. I feel like it's ignominious or I think it's ignominious. No, it is ignominious. God damn, trust your instincts, Chris. But yeah, it's a very ignominious honor for him to have that, I think. Oh, let me get this. Here, you talk for a second. Let me just finish up. I don't like crunching on the show because I really can't multitask as well as you and Jake have learned.
Holy balls! I didn't realize it was 7:03. FanDuel looking good enough here. YOLO, going with it. Sometimes you get caught up yelling at dumb people in chat. How many could I do? Oh, if we're talking hot dog, not a lot. That's just not my forte. I'm not a volume eater. I'm a speed eater, as you could tell by how quickly I got through those first like 50 pizza bites.
You did murder them real fast up front.
I would get out, like, I have no doubt in my mind that I would be the leader in any eating contest that we would do early, and I would fade late. Same way I faded in the high school eating contest. Bad face.
One quick thing, I got my crunches in, so I could take back. Matthew Prodwell saying, I'm running a 2-2-2-2 for bats. I would say it's not the best idea on a slate of this size, personally.
I've never run it personally in my entire life.
Yeah. And you've run many, many more crunches than I do, because I'm a 20 max guy. Oh, thanks. Brick saying it's a perfectly cromulent word. That was a good joke. Yeah, I think for me, the thing, especially on a slate of this size, you are going to find stacks that go off. There's a very high potential. There's a 4-4 out there that captures the value. You're just making it harder on yourself to find those guys. Even if you love like Arenado and Story and like Bregman and Altuve, you're not going to get there as easily if you go 2-2-2-2.
Yeah, it's just not for me. That's not to say that it can't win or anything like that. Like, there's no...
True.
Anything can work. You can go fully, like, unstacked and just get it right. I don't think that lends you to long-term success.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is we're trying to teach you guys how to be profitable. Every show we do on the channel is designed to teach you guys how to be more profitable every day. And doing that, you might win occasionally, but you're going to decrease your odds on a day-to-day basis.
Mike Clevenger projected for 4% ownership on FanDuel. Do you want to guess how much I got?
25.
You cheating?
Yeah, I'm hacked into the mainframe that you have right now.
24.
I just know you too well, I guess.
24 Clev, 18 Buehler, 18 Sale.
Okay, that seems fair.
10% Bryce Wilson, which I didn't see coming.
I got 55% Sale, 40% Walker Buehler, and unfortunately, I got 40% Cal Quantrill, which I would have liked to have come off of. I guess I could after.
How much?
40% with our projections. Yeah, I went agnostic with it. That's what I've been trying to do a little more.
I don't know if it was agnostic.
No, it was. I'm telling you, that was just what.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
On the crunch of 500, I got how much Cal Quantrill? Hold on.
Try eating 10 bananas in 1 minute. That's called a Thursday in college, my man.
Yeah, out of 500 lineups, I got 133 with Cal Quantrill. Out of that initial crunch.
I did not get him in a single lineup out of 150.
Yeah, look, I sometimes take these guys out. Today was not one of those days where I just went with. I trust our features at awesome.com, even though we probably should have walked that back a little, and may very well after the show ends.
We're locked, man.
I keep seeing people talk about this guy Nate Lashley in the PGA tournament, and I keep thinking it's Bobby Lashley and getting confused why people are very excited about Bobby Lashley.
I did it from Thursday to Sunday last week.
You're like, good for him. He's got the power. He should be able to drive it down the fairway pretty well.
I don't know if he's going to be able to swing a golf club, man.
He's very athletic.
Ooh, I'm going to plug something quick.
Yeah, go for it.
Live before lock, PGA tonight, 9 p.m. Normally, Ben Rasa, Jason Roslin. Jason Roslin is going to be in Slack from 8 to 9 doing office hours, but Roslin's got a bum tummy, and he's tapping out to the Live Before Lock show tonight. Not going to be me, so didn't want to give everybody zero golf information like I did previously. Nolan joining Ben Rasa tonight, so it'll be Nolan and Ben Live Before Lock starting 9 p.m. tonight.
Nolan, a very good guy, our editor at the site, does a really good job every day. You'll enjoy having him on that show. What an excuse by Jason Roslin, though. Oh, what a convenient day to have a tummy.
No, he's got it. His kid got it from daycare. The wife's got it. It's running through the entire house.
I don't know. I need to see fecal samples to confirm that the timing of that one.
I don't need to see those at all. I would have been happy to do the show, but I don't want to do that to our subs. So it's probably a lot better to get Ben on there with Nolan, two people that actually write golf content for our site.
Yeah, and Nolan, if you are curious, if you want some free PGA content, prepare yourself for the stuff that's going on this weekend there. We do have Nolan's column, The Approach, up on the site right now, which that's free. It's free on the site right now. So go check it out at awesemo.com.
Good for you knowing that it was The Approach.
Yeah. Oh, I remember it because I named it.
Oh, did you? We have 15 pieces of golf content from Tuesday to Sunday at this point now. I can't keep track of what's what, except for knowing. I barely know. I think Ben's is above the cut, and I posted it every day for the past year, or every Thursday or Tuesday for the past year. So.
It's weird. I don't remember, I actually did remember seeing above the cut because I always confuse that with another word, which would be a very inappropriate name if we had it on the site. But The Approach, I remember any name I ever come up with for anything. So The Approach, I remember because I remember that came out of me real fast, and he's used it to great success. So we share that. But guys, hit that like button on the way out. We're here for you guys. You guys are here too. So we're sharing this together right before the 4th of July. We're here for you guys on a tough slate to try to dig through it. So hit the like button before you go. Also use that promo code Live Before Lock to get half off your first month. We'll have night slate content. We'll still have content going, even though we're not doing, I guess we'll have the strategy show tomorrow. But we're not doing a Live Before Lock show or Four Corners or a deep dive tomorrow, or a deeper dive rather tomorrow. But we'll have a bunch of stuff on the site, still the same ownership projections, rankings, all the things we're used to. Those will be there for you. So use that promo code Live Before Lock for half off your first month. And anything else, Josh, you want to hit on?
Did you say Summer League again by any chance? I wasn't listening.
Oh, no. Go through it.
Summer League. Fast Eddie Fear's Summer League Spectacular. Eddie's going to be doing rankings and live shows every day for Summer League starting on Friday. DraftKings already has Summer League contest posted. If you want to sign up, whether you're an Awesemo sub right now or not, you would need to pick up this package. It's $19.99. It's going to be less than $2 a day for all of Summer League. You really can't beat that deal. You're getting everything from Eddie. Shows will be behind the paywall. They are only available to the people that are subscribing to this. So if you want to watch Eddie do this Summer League stuff, you got to pick up the package. Otherwise, you're not going to get it.
Yeah, and that is one that, I mean, again, we really try our best to not guarantee any sort of results here, and you certainly can't do that in the world of DFS, but Eddie's done a really good job for years helping people win money and just be smarter about the sport as they're approaching a summer league where people really don't know what's going on, even though people know the big ticket items. There are a lot of nuances that go into it, and there are big tournaments on DraftKings this year, so go check that out. And FanDuel, and maybe Yahoo, I don't know if Yahoo.
Just DK, to my knowledge.
Okay, so just DK then. So yeah, there's a lot of good tournaments on there. So go check out Eddie's content with that Summer League package, which is up now if you go to osmo.com/join.
Yes.
And yeah, we wish you guys a happy 4th of July. Whether you're American or not, you're not American, live like one tomorrow, get real fat and drunk and stupid, just like we all try to do every time. Don't blow your hands up. I would say that'd be one thing I would advocate against. Don't do the old JPP special and give yourself a lost digit in the process, but enjoy yourselves, enjoy all your sodium and your alcohol and whatever else. And fireworks. Fireworks are fun. I like fireworks.
Booby Jones. The link to Asamoah's projections are the same every single day. He doesn't only give grades. He's been giving projections all season. He's been giving projections for just about everything for the past 6 months. Yay! Because they are of course they are. Of course the rankings were garbage and provided no value. They provide no value to you. That's why you're here trolling for more information. Right?
Oh, boy.
I never made a living. Yeah, I did actually. I quit my other job to do this. It's fantastic. This is what I do to make a living. It's a really great job. So yes, this is me making my living playing DFS by being a director of content for this website. It's fantastic. You should try it, man. Good luck. I assume you're writing all the... Never mind. I'm just going to let it go.
Booby Jones can play with fireworks tomorrow. In fact, he can hold it if you want to swallow an M80 and see if it goes down with it lit. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
No, don't do that. Even you, Booby Jones.
Not only does Alex post his projections, I'm pretty sure they're free today.
Oh, there you go. That's a deal. Yeah, we do have free content every day on the site too. Check the Twitter at @Osmo_com. We have whatever free articles we have the other day.
It doesn't. Who cares if you make a living off of DFS? This pays my bills.
Yeah. And honestly, we spend, whether people make a living off it or not, you spend hours a day doing research and providing data. That's what the job is.
I've never been happier in my life than from April, whatever, 2018 till right now, where my living is made by daily fantasy sports. But, whatever you want to do.
More like Poopy Jones.
Yeah. Later, booby.
All right. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, everybody else out there. The channel's more supportive than not, even though a couple of guys, I guess that's just one guy using multiple names, got under Josh's skin today. We appreciate all of you guys out there because so many of you guys are fun and loving and wonderful people who are very supportive of what we're trying to do here.
Very
we
true.
Genuinely appreciate that.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Very true. I love all you guys. I hope everybody has a great 4th, except for Booby Jones.
Yeah, Booby Jones, just be better, man. But everybody else out there, enjoy your 4th, and we'll see you guys again soon. Good luck, guys.
Booby Jones choke on a rocket pop.